The bell is tolling. It's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a look at Le'Veon Bell, fresh off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
Coming off of 9 sacks in his 6th Pro Bowl is Geno Atkins, who's an absolute force inside. Not only does he have the ability to wreck a running game because he's able to take out not just 1, but often 2 blockers, his inside presence and ability to rush the passer makes things very difficult for opposing offenses.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throwing the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Dalton now to pass. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Right back to him on first down. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. First drive for this offense today, and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And Eifert has it. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Holding, offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rodgers. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. First carry for James Conner, pushing his way inside the 40. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Got some real estate inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 3-0 is our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Roethlisberger.
That one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Returning it, John Ross. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
3rd down from the gun, Dalton. That's complete, Bernard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
On the screen, Bernard. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Roethlisberger to his big target, James, all 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. On the counter, here's Bell. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Dalton. And he hits his man, Matthews. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Passing, it's Dalton. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And
based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think we could easily read his mind there. There's just no place to go. Tried to bounce it and get outside on the draw.
Yeah, but the defense wasn't thinking pass. They knew that they were running it.
And I love the way that they covered all the gaps. You know, we can do all the lettering and the numbering and all those things, but those run fits that we talk about all the time, each person fitting in the proper spot on defense, you see the end result when they do that.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded just inside the 30. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. 2nd down, Dalton caught Eifert over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. 3rd and 2 for Dalton. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Andy Dalton now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
He drops it off for Bernard. Now the Bengals on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Bud Dupree coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Goes underneath for Bell. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the 2nd half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On the run, it's Mixon. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Dalton gives to Bernard. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Dalton throwing on second down. On the right side, caught by Green. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And the Bengal fans are probably saying, where has that been?
And they have to, because everyone wants to talk about having a balanced offense. But these two, Andy Dalton, A.J. Green, their connection is vital to their chances of winning.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming fourth down. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will tie things up at 6-6. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
And rush coming, and he's taken down. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Now the ball comes loose, and the Bengals grab it. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Jordan Matthews, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Sutton now to return. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. On third down, Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump-off. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll run again with Bernard. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Now Brown. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he spins past him and into space. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a 1st.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
Not only stopping him at the line, but pushing him back a yard as well. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Boswell good with the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. And now here's Ross. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Dalton. On the screen, Bernard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. So as you see the numbers, a very uncharacteristic start, but he's been more characteristic as of late.
And usually we're seeing a very good start out of him because, let's face it, he's one of the best out there. But when he does have a start, as we just saw, would you call it uncharacteristic? You know mentally he's not that worried about it. He knows how good he is and figures he's going to get back on the beam real fast.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for him there, didn't it?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Now Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's brought down. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Now it's Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Ben to throw again. And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jesse James, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Now Ross to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Got his man. It's Eifert. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first. Throwing, Dalton.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And it'll be Dalton again. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. This will be Dalton again. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up second down. No, third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And Bullock will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And the Steelers set to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Again, it's Bell. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The give is to Bell. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. They'll go again with Bell. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. On third down, that's Connor. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Roethlisberger will hand to counter. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, that's Connor. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Pittsburgh, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.